Are you interested in having fun while becoming a better version of yourself as well as building lifelong friendships? What if I told you that you could also win money by doing this? The purpose of my speech is to persuade my audience that competing in beauty pageants is a positive activity for females. I know what you're thinking. You don't think that this could possibly be something that you want you or your daughter participating in. Let me tell you why I believe otherwise. Competing in pageants myself, I believe that pageants build self-confidence, prepare you to have conversations about your beliefs on controversial topics, and provide a good source of scholarship money for college. First, I will tell you how beauty pageants contribute to building self-confidence. As parents, you may fear that beauty pageants will do just the opposite for your daughter. I know that when I first started competing in pageants, my mom was afraid that if I didn't win, I wouldn't feel beautiful. While this may be true for very young girls, I think that once you reach a certain age, you learn to roll with the punches. When you don't win, your goal will be to come back and do better the next time. This helps with goal setting as well as self-growth. As stated by Peyton Wilson in the article, Beauty Pageants Changed My Self-Confidence for the Better, every time I didn't win, I still walked away a winner. With every failure, I learned how to gain a success. You push yourself a little further each time, and ultimately, you're becoming the best and strongest version of yourself. As much as parents can try to help their daughters love themselves by telling them they are smart and beautiful, the outcome will not change until that they see that there is truth behind these statements. This is something that must be experienced. It cannot be taught. I completely agree with the article, Does Pageantry Help Build Self-Esteem on crystalclearpageantry.com, when it says, confidence is key when competing in pageants because you have to perform on a stage in front of hundreds and sometimes thousands of people. The first time you walk onto the stage in front of this many people, it will be breathtaking. However, with each time, you will gain more and more confidence and feel less nervous. Being in front of this many people will become second nature to you. Now that you know how pageants are capable of building self-confidence, I will tell you about how pageants force you to have conversations about your beliefs on controversial topics. Beauty pageants prepare you to have conversations about your beliefs on controversial topics. Whether this be a conversation that comes up at school, work, or even the grocery store, it is always better to be prepared. The interview process in pageants, while being the most critical part, is also the scariest part. Although you are not in front of thousands of people, you are face to face with a judge. This is only scary to us because as humans, we fear saying the wrong things at the wrong times. One reason that the interview is so intimidating is because you're being asked questions that you're probably not used to answering. As Ashley Covert states, and what I learned about interviewing for Miss America, they are chomping at the bit to ask you the most difficult questions they can think of. Politics, controversial issues, your public or your personal life, you name it. Yes, that is intimidating, but it just means that you must prepare yourself for the worst. It also means that pageants aren't about how pretty you are or how expensive your dress is. It has a lot more to do with how much you know than people expect. Although pageant interviews bring up uncomfortable subjects, I believe that it is truly what prepares you for the real world. After doing a few pageant interviews myself, I realized that I was more comfortable having controversial conversations. I was also much more comfortable talking to adults, and I do very well in job interviews. Now that you know how pageants help to build self-confidence as well as how they prepare you to have controversial conversations on your beliefs, I will tell you about everyone's favorite part, scholarship money. Beauty pageants provide a very good source of scholarship money to help pay for college. The sooner you or your daughter starts to compete in pageants, the more opportunities you will have to win these scholarships. According to Beauty Pageant College Scholarships on collegescholarships.org, the Miss America organization is the world's leading provider of scholarships to young women, providing more than $45 million worth of scholarship assistance to more than 12,000 women in 1 year alone. With that being said, you may be wondering if you will be making as much money by competing in pageants as you will when you spend to prepare for them. A huge misconception by many people is that once you pay for hair, makeup, and clothes, you are spending more than you are making. This is false because a beauty pageant is truly more about your confidence than any of these things. If you carry yourself in a positive way and the judges can tell you are confident in what you are wearing and who you are, then the price tag does not matter. A girl wearing a $100 dress that has confidence will always stand out over a girl wearing a $2,000 dress that lacks self-confidence. To conclude, the purpose of my speech was to persuade my audience that competing in pageants is a positive activity for females. In order to do this, I told you how pageants build self-confidence, prepare you to have conversations about your beliefs on controversial topics, and provide a good source of scholarship money for college. Pageantry is not about being pretty. It is about being intelligent and having confidence. I completely agree with the article, "There's Big Money to be Made in Beauty Pageants," written by Hillary Friedman, when she says, "Every smart young woman should consider competing in the Miss America pageant." Thank you.
That was just a comment.